I told you we celebrate what's good about the Valley. Our next guest, Doug Hofer, is great for the Valley because he teaches people how to play tennis. Doug, welcome.
Thank you.
Did I say right, Hofer?
Yes.
Hofer Tennis.
Yes.
Now, let's say somebody's watching and they say, I want to be a better tennis player. Are you the guy they call?
I am a tennis professional, certified by the USPTA.
Okay.
Been doing this for 38 years. I'm based out of Visalia, and I have a van, but I will travel. I go to Lemoore and Reedley, sometimes Porterville, so I go all over.
Wherever they need you.
Wherever the business takes me, yes.
And there has to be a tennis court. There's that van. That's very cool. Cool-looking van. We'll see that driving down the highway. Now let's talk about your tennis racket a second. What a racket that is. You know, this is a bigger than average size racket, so...
This is just a promotional item.
Promo tool, yeah.
And,
I want to feel it. It's a real deal, though, huh?
My daughter said it'd be a good
prop.
Something to show.
Is this your daughter?
No, those are some of my kids in Porterville.
People you're teaching
tennis to. They like to
to.
Take pictures with my big racket.
Big racket, yeah.
So I like to get pictures of my kids that I teach on Facebook, and just so they can see themselves.
Now, who should take tennis lessons?
Everybody should take tennis lessons. I'll tell you what, excuse me, tennis lessons are great because tennis is a highly skilled sport. It doesn't have to be, but if you want to get better, the technique and skills involved need private instruction.
Now, I understand some of these guys are pros. I mean, no matter how great you are, you still get coaching and lessons.
They still get coaching all the time. You can never stop getting coaching, just as you can never stop learning in any environment or whatever field you're in.
But there's a lot of technique in tennis, a lot of ways to stand, how to plant your feet, how to hold the racket just a certain way. And sometimes you don't know if you're making a little error, and it's good to have some other eyes on you.
Right, and that's what a coach will do at professional level. They not only talk strategy, they will scout their opponents and see what the tendencies are and develop game plans and
say,
stuff
hey,
like
keep
that.
hitting it to his left.
Yeah, high school coaches are doing that all the time.
Yeah, well, football in our high school football teams, they watch the films of the other team,
they always,
know.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do it in tennis? That's right.
Of course.
Now, what about conditioning training? Is that important for
That's
tennis?
very important, and it should be a bedrock for serious tennis players. I know all high school coaches now are getting more into the fitness and strength training categories because it's becoming more and more important that you can see improvement in your tennis game through training.
Through training, being in shape. I watch those Serena Williams and people like that, and it's just incredible the shape they are.
They're buff, yes.
Yeah, they're not just out there going out on weekends hitting the ball.
No, they're some of the best athletes in the world.
And a lot of their training isn't even with the racket in their hand, I would imagine. So.
No, they spend 4 to 5 hours a day doing different types of training, yes.
Now, I would imagine if you want to be on a high school team and you want to be competitive, I'm just choosing high school as an example, but you want the step up from not that the high school coach isn't that good, but he can't give you the individual attention.
Yeah, that's a group setting, so it's very hard for him to give you private instruction to really develop your technique. That takes one-on-one. The coach might be able to do it after hours or something. But he doesn't get paid
not with
for
30
it,
kids on the team,
and he doesn't get paid for it. So high school tennis coaches are underpaid anyway for the amount of work that they do and travel. But it's always good to seek out a tennis pro. There's 3-4 good clubs here in Fresno, and a lot of people teach tennis.
Now, before we get too far, if somebody's watching and they want to reach you, where should they start? Facebook, internet, website?
I like to refer people to my website at hofertennis.com.
HOFER tennis.com.
Right.
That's the best website name ever. People always have some esoteric thing that doesn't really say who and what they are.
It's just my name and the sport.
Hofer Tennis.
That's the name of my business to keep it simple.
How at your peak in the year, how many students do you have?
I usually have about 30 to 40 private students. And I do some group lessons, and I also run leagues.
Okay.
I run the Visalia Community Tennis Association, and we just finished our World Team Tennis League in the summer. There's the logo right there. Okay.
Visalia Community Tennis Association.
We have lots of kids. Yesterday I handed out 15,000 flyers to all the elementary schools in Visalia. So we'll get probably 100 kids.
And will you play in one place or all over
We
town?
play usually at 2 sites, 2 high schools that I've got reserved. So
Okay, good. And when does that start?
that starts June 12th.
So it's time. If you're going to sign up, it's time to get into that.
Look for information in the paper, or you can go to hofertennis.com, and my email address or everything's on there.
Now, is that for beginners or advanced? Or?
There's several different ones. With the advanced one for kids, we travel and play other high schools. There's a beginner one too that's really good. It has 3 different levels.
Do you see some up and comers?
Oh yeah. A lot of the kids that I've seen come through our programs now are playing in high school.
That's great.
Some of them have gone on to play in college.
Right.
It's encouraging to see these kids get to that level.
And we were talking about before the show that, kids come home from school, they get on the video games, they never see the sunshine. And tennis is one good way. It's safe. Sometimes football or some of the other sports can be a little competitive. But
they can start. I mean, I started hitting a ball against my garage door.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't have to go to the
out
court.
to a court.
Yeah, get a racket, get a ball, and get
hit.
started.
Yeah.
Now, and you're based mostly in Visalia, but you'll travel anywhere.
Right now I'm traveling to Lemoore and Reedley, and I used to travel to Porterville, but I will travel with my van. It has 4 different kinds of tennis balls in it, and a picker-upper and all sorts of equipment and rackets. So I travel and will go wherever I'm needed.
Now, if somebody's with you, sign up for some lessons. Do you give some guidance on which racket? Are there some really good ones and some really bad ones?
I sell tennis rackets also. I've been with Dunlop for 20 years.
Dunlop.
And
this is a giant Dunlop.
This is a giant Dunlop, of course, but I will recommend the proper weight and size of racket from kids to adults, because there's different ones that they need to know about.
So there's opportunity for private lessons. There's opportunity to get in a group. There's opportunity just to begin your exposure all through Hofer Tennis.
Right.
From city leagues to private lessons to, if you're on the high school team, getting some assistance. If you're beyond high school and you're going to the pros, you always need a teacher. Yeah. Anything else you want our viewers to know?
I'm not only just promoting Hofer Tennis, but I've been a tennis ambassador for years and just trying to get a lot of people to play tennis. I know all the pros here in Fresno and Clovis area, and most of the high school coaches, and I encourage them to seek out one of them and get some tennis and start playing. You can play it from 5 years to 95 years old.
And once you get your racket and stuff, there's not a lot of expense in this.
There's not a lot of expense. You need some tennis shoes and a decent racket, and balls are pretty inexpensive.
And a lot of times you play for free. You always find a free court.
Public courts are usually open,
Now, so it's Doug Hofer.
Right.
And look for Hofer. Just Google Hofer Tennis, but you'll find him on Facebook. You'll find hofertennis.com, and you'll see the van driving around town.
Probably.
And if you can't reach him, or you didn't write down the information, call us here at Central Valley Talk. I'll put you in touch with Doug Hofer, Hofer Tennis. We'll be right back with more Central Valley business.